this light, this truth, that nothing else exists, only the light, only the peace and tranquility of all creation. Accept your natural state of love. It is through your acceptance that the light dawns. This light, this beauty, is always what is. Nothing else exists. And to bring your full attention to the divine light that is within and is within everything, and that everything is one. Finding the willingness of the heart to release the concept of separation, the concept that everything is a separate identity, the willingness to melt and join and revel in the light. And the willingness in this moment to forgive the mistaken identity of separation, to bring that loving compassion into the heart, and to joyfully surrender all concepts, all knowing, into love. In this moment, all is divine right here, right now. Heaven is here. Love is here. And the truth within is here. Find the willingness in this moment to surrender all the beliefs of this day, all the beliefs that said there's a problem, concern, differences, possibly not enough time, possibly a schedule, possibly a goal. Surrendering it all into love. In the willingness to just be present here. And to recognize that all day was the opportunity to be present in the moment and to just rest. Every moment available for resting. Resting the mind, resting any goals, resting, sinking into allowing everything to be just unfolding. And now stepping into a deeper trust, stepping into that sidecar and letting the divine, letting the infinite wisdom of creation drive while you trust and allow the unfolding. And this trust will hold on to the promise that only love is real, and that you are completely innocent and will remain innocent as the divine truth of God. And in this moment, the willingness to put the future into the hands of God, surrendering all the mights, all the mays, all the what could happen, what it all means, just surrendering it into love, willing for the power of love to transform and unfold in perfect grace and harmony. And in this moment, the willingness to invite humanity into your heart, into the one heart, releasing all concepts and perceptions of this one or that one. This means this and that means that. And just allowing humanity to remember with you. And now breathing deeply and fully, focusing on the breath. Focusing and bringing attention to breathing into every cell, every molecule. And as you breathe, allowing the breath to melt away the belief of differences. As you breathe in, the willingness to breathe in the truth of union, of divine union. And as you breathe out, the willingness to let go of all concepts of limitation. Breathing in love and letting go of all fear. Consciously, purposefully saying yes. Yes to light, yes to love, yes to harmony, yes to peace. And breathing into the throat, inviting the throat to open, to receive the truth of love, letting the neck relax, surrendering the shoulders, arms, and hands into God's heart, the one heart. And noticing if there was any tension held in the body today, and surrendering that. Breathing into the spine, surrendering the spine into the hands of God. Willing for everything to be supple and open, easily moved. Breathing into the heart, inviting the heart to come forward, open and available. Yes to being undefended. Yes to being available. Yes to expressing and offering love. And breathing into the belly, surrendering all the organs into the hands of God. Breathing fully and deeply. Allowing. Surrendering the hips and thighs, knees, calves, ankles and feet, all surrendered into love. And breathing and inviting all the chakras to open. Crown chakra, heart chakra. Everything opening. And allowing the first chakra, in the perineum, to connect to the earth, and then bringing the energy up and connecting through the crown chakra. Everything connected as one. Breathing. Breathing and allowing that all is well, all is peace, all is harmony. And affirming that here, in the infinite circle of love, we are one. One heart and one breath in devotion to love. One heart and one breath surrendering to love. There's only one presence here, it is the life force of God. Within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. The sanctuary is filled with love. Only love exists. This universe is all of love. Nothing else is true. Breathing. Allowing this prayer to speak and sing to your heart, letting it stir your heart and agree with the yes. One minute to midnight, and the sky is turning black. 1 minute to midnight, and there's no turning back. I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home to stay. 1 minute to midnight, and my train is pulling in. 1 minute to midnight, and my new life will begin. Love calls me home, love calls me home, love calls me home for good. 1 minute to midnight, and the bells begin to chime. 1 minute to midnight, and they tell me that it's time to turn toward the light, turn toward the light, turn toward the light of my home. 1 minute to midnight, as I bandage up my heart. 1 minute to midnight, as I let the healing start. I will receive, I will receive, I will receive my welcome home. I will receive my welcome home. I will accept my welcome home. It is your acceptance, your yes, that opens the door to recognition that you are home. That home has never been any place else. That home, the entire universe is within. That home, the peace and joy and tranquility of love is right here, right now. Nothing has ever been kept from you. Nothing has ever been removed from you. Nothing has ever changed of the truth of who you are. It's the acceptance of your welcome home. And the recognition that you want to go home. And the recognition that love calls you home. To step into that quiet stillness of the heart and hear love's calling for you to come home to the recognition of oneness, to the recognition of peace and harmony and complete joy. The shedding of a skin of a false identity and walking into the light where you've always been. The dawn has arrived resplendently, the dawn of a new day. My father is here, that is where he is, and my mother is here. Oh yes, she is. The dawn has arrived, illuminating resplendently the new day. My mother is here with open arms and with her roses of crystal purity. And the heart became resplendent and bloomed with all that love. My mother is here, yes she is, and my father is here in great jubilation, resplendently illuminating. It is dawn, the sun has risen. In the resplendence of the divine light, we remember love. The sun has risen, illuminating. Let's all receive the truth of love. The truth of love that is here now in this moment, allowing. Amanecer, esplandecer, amanhecer, a novo dia. Meu pai é lá, ela que ela está, minha mãe está, é seu altar. Amanheceu, iluminou, esplandeceu, o novo dia. Minha mãe está lá, de braços abertos e suas rosas, por esse de cristal, esplandeceu o coração, desaborou todo esse amor. Minha mãe está lá sim. Lá está meu pai, em grande júbilo. O sol nasceu, iluminou. Vamos receber o Salvador. Ele é menino, ele é o amor que agora chega aos corações. The dawn has arrived. The dawn of awakening is your yes. To recognize that the dawn has arrived, that awareness has been lit up in your willingness to accept that love is all that there is, and that the divine is here with open arms and with roses of crystal purity, just patiently waiting on your yes. But to recognize that the dawn has arrived and that the sun has risen, The light has dawned. Let the light dawn within the mind. Let the light dawn within the heart of the awareness of the truth of love. This is all that this journey is about. The perception of a journey of remembering and allowing the divine alchemy of light to dawn upon the mind, the truth, the recognition of oneness. The acceptance of love. The power is within your yes. When you say yes, all of creation serves that yes. When you say yes in the moment, all of creation comes to transform. When you say yes, in every moment, the light dawns. The power is in your yes. Every moment has the potential of the dawn being recognized. And that potential is there because your yes is available to you in every moment. And when you're not saying yes, you're saying no. There is no neutral. To bring your conscious participation of yes, to be led, to be shown, to be blessed, and to surrender. The dawn has arrived, resplendently. And the dawn has arrived through the divine prayer that comes from the beloved Nona Hafiz. The vibration of love is here in this moment, wanting to be swallowed, wanting to be accepted, wanting to serve. Take it in, swim in it, and allow the transformation through every word of love. So Hafiz offers in this moment, I like musicians. Wise the beggar or the thief who can get a coin from my purse, for it will multiply, it could turn into emerald worlds. But what you get from me needs to be held and not quickly spent. Some kind of incubation is required. How can you do that? If you slow your mind down, let the thoughts go, and keep your aim steady on the present, a heat in your gaze will occur. Something you want to see that was hiding in the invisible will begin to step forward and become apparent. Instead of stealing from me, you should be aware that I love musicians and will offer freely to their hat. When the beggar or a thief gets a coin from my purse, which is when a master is offering the truth, that is the coin that you receive, that is the gift, that is the wealth. And when you receive that wealth through every sacred teaching, it will multiply. And if you allow it, it will turn into emerald worlds. This is the divine alchemy of love's healing that is available with every sacred offering. To take the coin and to hold on to it sacredly, preciously, and let it multiply. For every truth, every coin that is every truth, every sacred gift will multiply if you hold on to it. It will expand. It will illuminate. Every truth that is offered through words, through transmission of any kind, has a life force within it that will expand, that will continue to illuminate if you take it in. You hold on to it like a precious coin, and you let it multiply. You want it to illuminate. You want it to expand. You want it to break through every seeming resistant identity. You want to take that truth and let it expand through your whole being. This is the drinking in. This is the recognition of the precious coin of the truth. It isn't just a word on a page. It isn't just a word coming out of a mouth. It is the transmission of love that is lovingly offered. And when you take it in as the precious coin and let it expand, let it multiply, each teaching has the power to completely awaken the sleeping awareness. And you don't know which teaching is going to be that one that is going to expand and explode, but you're willing to take it in. And you're willing to recognize the preciousness of the gift, because without the recognition of the preciousness, its life force is not being accepted. It's not being brought in as nourishment and wanting that illumination. That power is within you. It can lay there in a flat way, or it can be taken by the mind that says, I'll be the judge of that. But when you take it in as a gift, the ego has stepped aside in that moment, and love has received love. And it then can grow and expand and multiply because it has that power. It's beyond the comprehension of the mind to enter into the mysteries of grace and harmony and joy, love itself. But what you get from me needs to be held and not quickly spent. It needs incubation. That's the preciousness. That's the holding it. Letting it incubate within you. Mulling it. Concentrating on it. Wanting to taste the truth of it. Wanting to imbibe the medicine. Wanting to imbibe the precious gold of the truth. Letting it be that preciousness. Every teaching, every offering of truth How can you do that? You slow your mind down and keep your aim steady, your focus steady, your intention steady on the present, and a heat in your gaze will occur. The fever of love will burn, the actual truth will burn through the lies if you slow your mind down. Now this is essential, because when the mind is filled with what it knows, with its identity and its doings and jumping from the past to the future, there is nothing present there that can savor and let this burn in and let this burn through. It's like having a dance partner that you're not paying any attention to. You're looking all over the place, looking at everything else in the room, and you forgot that you're actually dancing with somebody. And it's bringing all the attention back to the gift, to the moment of divine truth that is wanting to be savored. And the more you savor the truth, the more delicious it becomes. It becomes so delicious, so filled with possibilities. And you begin to have a recognition that this is the wonder of all creation through the words of love, through whatever medium it comes through, but to accept it and to really let it blossom. Let it really blossom. Something you want to see that was hiding in the invisible will begin to step forward and grow. Something that you truly want to see, which is love, which is harmony, which is the beauty of all life, will begin to be uncovered through the truth, through the divine teaching. It will allow a dance to begin. Instead of stealing, it's always freely offered. There's nothing that you have to steal. There's nothing that is not offered. There is nothing that is not your birthright. There is nothing that you don't deserve. Nothing has to be stolen. Nothing has to be secretly taken and played with. Take it fully, take it openly. Let it be your life to take the truth and expect and want and invite the divine alchemy of love to transform through every sacred teaching. It's all there. When you slow the mind, when you let go of what you know and take in the divine truth, it's all there. And it's all there for you. Nothing is ever kept hidden. Why is this teaching so easily dismissed? Because the concept of the mind can't wrap itself around the mysteries of healing and the mysteries of divine alchemy and the grace of love's healing. the power of the miracle, the power of the grace of God is waiting for a quiet place to meet. A beloved said today, speaking of a very simple teaching, I could see peace instead of this. And she held this teaching all day. And without even recognizing, was lovingly inviting this teaching to transform. But the more consciously you bring yourself to every teaching that's offered, the more that you imbibe it and hold it as the preciousness that it is, consciously holding it preciously, as if, because it is, the most precious gift that if you would recognize that it is the emerald worlds, it is the most brilliant diamond, it is all the gold that has ever existed, it is the most beautiful possible scene that you could ever look at. It is the most beautiful of anything and beyond. Every sacred teaching is so precious because it is the key that can open the door to your freedom. It isn't about accumulating. How many books have you read? How many teachers have you seen? How many meditations have you listened to? How many workshops have you gone to? It isn't an accumulation. Accumulation is a world identity that believes in scarcity. To trust that in every sacred teaching is the key right here, right now. If you could imbibe one sacred teaching and want it to completely take over everything, you would awaken. But when you believe in accumulation, the goal is always a little bit out there. The goal is never right here. The awareness of what is present and what is available is never right here. Because in the belief of scarcity, everything always has to be what's next. Mm-hmm. What am I going to get next? And it's like you're not even present with what is because you're already looking at what is next. That's the world. But you're being called to stop. Stop and take in the precious coin of the teaching right here, right now. Give everything to it. Meet that preciousness and want to take it in and want to have it expand and explode and illuminate everything. Everything. If you took a teaching that said, I walk with God in perfect holiness, and you let your mind go of, well, let me see if I can figure this out. I walk with God in perfect holiness. There's no figuring this out. It's the breathing it in. It's the ecstatic bliss of this divine truth. This is a truth. I walk with God in perfect holiness. Holiness. Nothing else is here. In this moment, I am walking with God in perfect holiness. This is the truth. I will accept this, and I will live this. I am walking with God in perfect holiness. I want to open to the awareness. I'm ready, I'm willing, I want to taste it. I want to live it. I accept it. I will give everything to this because it is divinely given. Mm-hmm. It is the exquisite compassion of love itself that answers the call of please, I will receive my welcome home. I will accept the light. The light is dawning. I will accept. And I will revel that I am walking with God in perfect holiness. I will bathe in it. I will walk with God in perfect holiness. And I will walk with this awareness as deeply, deeply I say yes to this awareness. And possibly I will look like I'm in another world because I am in communion with God as I walk in perfect holiness. I will accept that state of complete love. I will not try to figure it out. I will not try to make sense of it through the limitations of perception within a world that is all about separation. I will accept it into my heart. I accept it into my heart right now, and I walk with God. I accept this as the truth of my being. I walk with God in perfect holiness. And when I am willing to walk with God in perfect holiness, then I will recognize that I am not even walking with God. Everything is one. But first, God has asked me to walk with God in perfect holiness, to accept the holiness, to accept an awareness that is beyond comprehension, to accept it as the preciousness that it is, as if someone just put in your hand the answer, the medicine, the gift that will heal all of creation, that will heal all of humanity, I will take this precious gift and I will treasure this precious gift, and I will honor this precious gift, and I will live this precious gift. This is the coin.
Mm.
This is the coin from every teacher, from every master, from every teaching. The coin of love that will multiply and turn into emerald worlds. Humanity has not learned how to accept this precious gift.
Mm.
Because the world has been identifying with getting and the future and suspicions and figuring things out. And this is the pure acceptance. There is within the world, in the journey of remembering, there is a relationship within some spiritual paths that is about being a devotee of a master. Is it because it's cultural? Is it because it's someone who likes to follow? There is a very important purpose to being a devotee. It is the willingness to accept the gold. It is the willingness to accept the offering. That is really what is being learned through that relationship. It's not about it becoming another identity. It's about dropping into that awareness that this is what you truly want, and that all of love is offering you in every moment, through every sacred teaching, this divine gift.
Mm.
Now this goes against, to accept a divine gift goes against everything that the world has taught. Because to accept a divine gift is to open the heart and to accept it freely and fully. There is a counter identity with the ego that says giving is always suspicious, or because it's based on the belief that everyone holds their fear of being so needy. But here is love saying, drink, 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 drink. Drink until your thirst is completely quenched and you can't remember anything else. Take every sacred teaching, every truth of love, every sacred love offering, and imbibe it. Invite it into every cell. I've related a few times that when I was in the journey of remembering, I found that place of truly wanting to be healed, truly, with everything. That truly wanting was all-encompassing. And in that all-encompassing yes, which is what this teaching is, I would be taken into a teaching, into a truth, and I would be held there, almost like I couldn't move. It was like my whole being was being held in that teaching until it was so completely immersed into being that I couldn't be more saturated. And then I would say, saturate me more. Saturate me, saturate me. I have no idea, but keep saturating. I want to be completely saturated. I don't want any cell not to be saturated. I don't want a molecule left out. Saturated. I am willing to be saturated. I'm saying yes. And love would hold me there, because love was answering what was wanted. Everyone has this within them. Everyone has this potential to want so deeply to be saturated that love answers by holding them in that teaching until they are saturated. But the key is that you have to bring yourself in your yes to that. The ego will react with a resistance that says, oh, well, this is really embarrassing. This is like groveling. This is like an exposure of a display of begging. But it isn't begging. It is the wanting to be ripped open and nothing being left of any falsity that's been made up. It's just wanting to be ripped open in love, to be taken. The closest that any beloved comes to that in the world is the relationship between a parent and a child that has had their heart ripped open and recognized they will do anything for that child. They will give their life. And this is the love that is being called for, to give your life and to love. to allow the willingness to be completely saturated in every teaching, in every offering of love. Why not? Why not? The only thing that holds anyone back is the fear of being devoured. But to be devoured by all that is just the return to love. It's just the return to heaven, to life, and to recognize that there was no life. That life did not start until you recognize the truth of life, of who you truly are. That life has always been, but when you're not aware of it, you can't be living that life. There is a teaching that would always take me to that awareness. And this teaching was from a teacher that was in the form of a female who was at that time in her 80s. And she taught through her own journey of remembering. And in one of the gifts that she offered, in one of the prayers that she offered, was a teaching that said, "Without the truth of love, I consider myself dead." And that prayer was, it pierced because it was so the truth. It was so the truth that there was no life without the recognition of God, without the embrace, without the coming home. And this wasn't a place of sadness, but it was a place of longing and wanting to remember. And the acceptance that without the truth of love, I consider myself dead, was an admittance, was admitting that I had been walking in a state of being dead, that there was no life, that the veil of limitation and separation said, there is no life. I'm just biding time. I'm just going through the motions. I'm just trying, but I'm not living. And that prayer pulled and pushed the yes. And it pulled and it pushed to take every teaching as its preciousness, as its divine offering. And out of that acceptance, that yes, would come a flow of gratitude for the blessings that were constantly being rained down into awareness. And the more yes that there was, the more blessings, the more awareness, the more exquisite dawning of the truth, the healing would burst. But it was this divine partnership of, as I said yes, the more and the more truth was taken in. And the more truth was taken in, the more I said yes, until the opening kept getting larger and larger and larger, until there was just a flood of truth that couldn't withstand anymore the oneness. And this all begins with every teaching. This begins in every moment of taking that teaching in, taking that truth in, and savoring it as the precious gift that it is. To find such joy of so many blessings, of so much love. Mm-hmm. I remember in that same journey of healing, recognizing that I had been given so many teachers, that I had been given a teacher in form that was awake, and that I would be just overwhelmed, absolutely overwhelmed with amazement that I was so loved, that I would be given a teacher that was so exquisite. And how important it is to be in that awareness. How important it is not to be grateful because it's the right thing to do, not because it's socially correct, but because you can open through that awareness that you are so loved, that you are, that all of creation wants you to remember, that all of creation is completely loving you all the time. All the time. And this love, it never stops. It never stops. It just pours, 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 pours. And you can open that door. There really isn't a door except of caution, of resistance, of fabrication, of believing that this world is still going to turn around somehow and give you what you think you're supposed to get. There is a world waiting. And it is here. It's right here. It's not someplace else. It's here. But it's right through the veil of a belief of limitation. Now this makes no sense. And this makes no possibility within this world to figure this out, why there's a veil. And what that even means. It isn't about figuring out what the veil is. It's about the willingness that you just don't want the veil. That you want the veil to fall away. And all of creation, all of love, the power of love is serving that constantly. There was a beloved who, and this is so true of almost everyone, without exception really, because everybody carries everything of the belief of separation. But a beloved said they wanted to experience God as if it's an experience. Healing is experiencing God. When you say yes to joy and peace and harmony, and you refuse the belief of pain and suffering anymore, that is the experience of God. That is God. When you are no longer plagued with nightmares and suspicions and caution and believing your own mind. And when you say yes, that is experiencing God. The truth of God, the truth of love is already here. Healing is truly only the letting go of what is not. And every sacred truth, every sacred teaching will take you as you drink it in and truly want it to permeate into every cell, will take you into the awareness of love. It may not come as what you might think it does. And that's part of what has to be let go of. to have the prayer within you of just take me, take this me, take everything that I've made up, and transform. I don't know what it all is. I don't know what it all looks like. I don't know what it all means. But I'm saying yes. That power of love hears that offering, that yes, and answers completely. There's never anything that is not answered. Not for the sake of a new identity. What so often happens in the spiritual journey is that a spiritual ego attaches, and that spiritual ego says, I just want to get rid of this identity, but I want a spiritual identity. I want to walk as a spiritual, bigger being. And that doesn't work either. But the first step is really take in each precious offering and let it incubate. Be with it, live it, revel in it, revel in its beauty, in its perfection, in its light. Let it take you. Let it take you out of your mind. Let it fill the space that used to be your mind. Let it soak through. Let it be the medicine that will save your life. Because that is what you're taking, is the medicine that will save your life. Now, in truth, your life is already intact. The truth of your being is whole and complete. But when you aren't aware of it, you might as well be in the middle of a desert for all that you're aware of. If it isn't true for you that you are whole and complete in the beauty of God, then it means nothing to you. So the willingness to take the medicine of truth, that's all that you're here for. Not just right here in this sanctuary in this moment, but what you're walking in a body, in the belief of separation, you're here to take the medicine of truth that will bring you home. Mm-hmm. To the place where you never left. Home is waiting. I will receive my welcome home. It's 1 minute to midnight. As I bandage up my heart and let the healing start, I will take the medicine. I will not limit the dose. I will not put it aside. I will take as much medicine as I possibly can until I overdose. I want to overdose. I want to saturate the medicine of truth every moment. I want to walk down the street in a state of ecstasy, because there is so much beauty and so much joy within the medicine. And I won't worry about waking up. I'm just going to keep drinking the medicine. I'm not going to look for a result. It's about being in the moment and drinking in the medicine and reveling in the gift of the medicine itself. Imbibing, incubating, swimming in every teaching, in every truth, as deeply as possible. And the ego might say, well, this is not fun. According to the world, no, it's not fun. It is exquisite. It is the ecstasy of all creation. Sometimes you have to go past the mind to get to that awareness of that ecstasy. But it's there waiting. And it's your yes. It's your wanting. And that wanting can only come from you. It can't be manufactured for you. It's in you. It's a longing because there's no one that doesn't want to come home to your natural being, to your true self. There may be resistance just out of habit, but truly, your heart wants to come home. And this is the lifetime. This is the lifetime. There are no accidents of recognizing as deeply as you have that there has to be another life. That there has to be more than what is being perceived here in the world of limitation. And there is no accident that you have sparked and touched that awareness, and it is not an accident that you have entered into a teaching that promises that you are the divine truth of God. But to then imbibe it, then it's, yes, I will accept my welcome home. I will receive my welcome home. I will accept and come home. I will. Because this is the lifetime that I'm saying yes. This is the lifetime that the dawn has arrived enough that I recognize this is what I'm here for. I'm here to remember. I'm here because I forgot and I'm willing to remember. I'm willing to use time. I'm willing to surrender time. I'm willing to accept a promise. I'm willing to accept every sacred teaching and soak it in. And revel in the gifts that I'm given. The opportunity of remembering. The moment. This is the moment. This is the lifetime. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fret about. There's nothing to be concerned about. All of creation is serving you because you are so loved. Because you are love itself. And love is calling love home, to return to the recognition of oneness. Accepting. Without the awareness of God, I consider myself dead. Because there is no life without the awareness of love. And love is who and what you are. Completely. There was a song that rang in my heart for years as I walked the spiritual journey. And it began when I first consciously said yes. And the song just, all I remembered was one little section of this song. And all the song said was, won't you come home, won't you come home, won't you come home, home to your heart. And that just kept pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, pulling me. There was nothing within me that isn't in everyone. Nothing. It's just the willingness to hear that calling and to hear and accept the yes and let that yes become everything in you. There was a beloved who asked a question, and the question was regarding meditation, the role of meditation in awakening. But this role of meditation is that quieting of the mind, quieting, the slowing down. And it is essential. It is essential. Not a meditation practice, but the willingness to let that yes fill you. And to take every sacred teaching and bring every sacred teaching into fullness. Let it incubate into a meditation. Let it move through you. Let it take you. And in the stillness, which is called meditation, you begin that divine communion with love. There is a beautiful calling that says, go into the closet with God. Go into the closet, the quiet solitary space where love can reveal itself. And your heart is right there. Your heart is right there, just saying, I'm here. I'm here. And love starts to speak. And love tells you, not in words, but in a sinking, of peace itself, of harmony and joy. Just is. Allow the mind to quiet. A beloved teacher once said, prayer is when you commune with God and you speak to God, and meditation is when God speaks to you. But it's just sinking, just resting. Resting the mind is meditation. Resting. Coming home. Just resting. And in that meditation, you recognize there's nothing to do. There's no doer, and there's nothing to do. Just be. Just sink. Just love. And if that place is difficult because of the mind's activity, the offering of service, the offering of love, of serving love through blessing, can also be your meditation. It can be your meditation of just offering love without an expectation of return. Just blessing. When you're driving in the car and you're blessing all the drivers, blessing their day, blessing their journey, blessing, and the willingness to recognize the holiness of everyone in every moment, that can be your meditation. Until you can step into that quieter space. And it's the willingness to quiet. It's the willingness to come and meet the friend within. Come and meet and be with the divine, the love. So in this moment, just affirming in the heart, that willingness to imbibe, to incubate every precious teaching. In such heavenly gratitude. For the gifts that are offered in every moment. For the exquisite gift of divine alchemy, healing that is yours. Nothing that you have to earn, nothing that you have to do, just the yes. Your acceptance of every sacred teaching is your gratitude. It is the honoring of the recognition of what is given to you and receiving it fully and deeply and as much as possible. It is your gratitude. It is your awareness of the preciousness of the gift. And it is your opportunity of entering into that divine creation with the gift, and letting it become one with you. So as we close, just holding that yes sacredly in your heart.